Good morning, everybody. My name is Jared O'Leary. I've been drumming since 1998, and I still got plenty of stuff to work on. Today, I'm going to be practicing chutichuhs. What are chutichuhs? You'll see in a moment. In these practice streams, I like to share what I'm practicing, how I'm practicing, as somebody who's still trying to refine my playing by grinding for XP, as my t-shirt says. And I have a lot of practice streams, 370 practice streams in here. All of these have timestamps in the description, so you can see what I was practicing, how I was practicing it, or what I was talking about. Often people will come into these streams and they will ask me some questions, and the reason why they'll ask me some questions is because I've been drumming since 1998. I've taught every single grade in kindergarten through doctoral student. I have a bachelor's, master's, PhD in music education, so I have a range of performing and teaching experience that people will often ask about. And I will edit those responses, many of them, and put them into this drumming tips playlist. There's over 13 hours of free drumming tips in here on a large number of topics. If the title interests you, cool. If the title doesn't interest you, there's actually more inside of here. So just like click on it, and then you can go into the timestamps in the description, and that'll show you all the different topics that I discuss in every one of these videos. Now, all of the play-alongs that I'm going to be using today are found on my home tab of YouTube. If you scroll down on the home tab a little bit, you'll find it's organized alphabetically. So we've got 62 chop exercises right here in this particular playlist. We've got a bunch of gaming stuff. We're going to be playing Uncharted 2 here in probably about an hour and a half. We've got over 1,000 grid variations. You actually have to click to expand the header to see all of the grid variations in here. But there's 37 wacky ones like Hurt the Grid. There's over 400 triplet grid. There's over almost 600 actually. 16th note grid variations in there. And then we've got a bunch of limb independence exercises and charts that I was working on yesterday. We've got over 460 marching bass exercises, some drumline cadences, some computer science stuff because I'm a nerd. And we've got over 360 technique exercises. And then here's where you can find all the drumming tips, the lessons, the live streams, and even some product reviews if that is of interest to you. Literally thousands of hours, thousands, plural, of content to keep you and me busy for quite some time. Now, I'm going to be working on my cheese chutichuhs today. So what's a cheese chutichuh? Cheese chutichuh, it's like a cheese. Happy Mother's Day, yas. So we've got cheeses, which is a flam accent. You put a diddle on the accent. Cool, this is a cheese as triplets. And then a cheese chutichuh is where we add in a little extra grace note, a tiny one, right before the cheese. So cheese, tap, little flam, and then cheese. That's what we're going to be working on today. Now, I need to get motivated here with some assistance from the great motivator, Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf here is going to help me to be able to get motivated. So we're going to actually hide him because of copyright. I keep getting copyright violations. So I don't want that. So goodbye, Shia. Don't worry, he's here in spirit. Here we go. Let's do it. Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success. Well, you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it. Just do it. Yes, you can. Just do it. He spits there. I'm not willing to commit to that. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Now, if you just joined the stream midway through, you're probably like, what kind of a drumming stream is this? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right. I'm going to warm up here, and then I'm going to stretch and massage, and then I'm going to work on grid with cheese chutichuh on one, and then I'm going to chop out. That is the plan for the day. Now, in order for me to warm up, I'm actually going to go into the chop section, and I can click, and it'll expand and show you all the playlists in here. But I'm going to use slow, fast, slow. So this one, when you open it up, it's got a bunch of different variations in here. And I'm going to do cheese chutichuhs with triplets. So I'm going to go to the triplet version. There's also 16th note. There's 8th notes. There's swung 8th notes. And then there's the normal one, which is just quarter notes. Okay, so what exactly is going on here? So what you do, in the timestamps... Ooh, wow, that resolution is not it. 1080, please. Thank you. In the timestamps in here, we've got a range of BPMs. Every one of them starts at 40, then it goes to a higher one, and then it goes back down to 40 again. So for me, I actually... Thank you. It started counting off. I actually want to go up to... What's it going to be today? 100. So we're going to do 40 to 100 to 40. You can select whatever range you want when working on this. But when I click on it, what it's going to do is going to count off, and then it's just going to play one measure at 40. And then it'll go up one measure at 41. And then a measure at 42. And it goes all the way up to whatever your maximum tempo is, and then it slows it back down again once it gets to your maximum tempo. For me, it's 100. So this is a great way to refine a rudiment. So now we're at 41. Or a phrase, or a beat. The point is to work on your technique and interpretation of a rudiment or whatever it is that you're practicing. As it slowly goes faster. Which, by the way, right before I started the recording, or the stream rather, I did a recording. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for 10K on YouTube. I appreciate it. We did it. Now I'm a billionaire. I'm gonna retire now. Appreciate it. We made it. Dream achieved. Now when playing a rudiment, or whatever, you want to stay nice and relaxed. Let the accents happen. If a cheese chutichuh like I'm playing right now is too hard, you can join along, play cheeses, or flam accents, or just a diddle on one. Whatever you're able to play comfortably. If this goes too fast, well, you can slow it down on your own using this play along on my home tab of YouTube. This is a great way to warm up or refine your playing. We're about to reach 70 beats a minute, which is faster than anyone's ever played, ever, on any instrument. True story. Trust me, I'm a doctor. We're going to break the sound barrier here in a moment. Brace yourselves. Woo-wee! Guinness Book of World Records is watching. Now, when it gets to 100, which is the maximum tempo that I selected, it's going to hold it for 4 measures, and then it'll slow back down one click at a time to 40. So again, it's a great way to work on a rudiment. You can do it with flam drags, alternating flams, diddle on 2, whatever you want to do. Okay, so we're almost at 100. It's going to hold it here. Whoa. What happened? And now it'll slow down. What are the best drums on GarageBand? Oh, I don't know. I used to teach GarageBand, but I haven't used it in forever. I started working at a non-profit, and I did that for 5 or 6 years. And then I quit that like over 2 years ago. So it's been like 7 or 8 years since I've used GarageBand. So I don't know. Sorry. Gradually slowing down. Again, great way to warm up or refine your technique. And once it gets to 40, it'll stop. And then we'll stretch and massage. And then I'll show you a really hard grid variation that we're going to slow down to refine chutichuhs. Try and make sure that the interior flam, this 3, that one, is still a flam and not a double stop. You should still hear a cha. Cha, 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 cha. It's hard. But Hershey's, if you're still working on cheeses, trying to learn them, check out the Rudiment Builders playlist under Technique. There's 3 variations for cheeses. Thank you for the sub on YouTube. Ooh, you got a doctorate too. Dr. Bird, nice to meet you. I'm Dr. O'Leary. You can just call me Jared. Hit the microphone for fun. You're welcome. Keeping you on your toes. Jump scare. Almost there. We can do it. We already broke the sound barrier. Now we're slowing down. Come on. Almost there. I rushed that second of the diddle. Yeah! So again, this one, you can pick a range for your tempo that you want to work on. So if you can only go up to like 80, then if you scroll down in the description, then you can go from 40 to 80 to 40. Or if you want to go faster on something, like you want to play it at like 200, cool. You can go 40, 240, whatever you want to do. Now, this is the triplet version, but if you go back into this playlist, there's quarter note, eighth note, swung eighth note, triplets, 16th note, swung 16th note. And then there's the opposite version of this. So if we go back to my home tab on the Tuba view, and you scroll down a little bit, there's fast, slow, fast. So same kind of subdivisions inside of this particular playlist, except it starts at your maximum tempo, it slows it down to 40, and then it goes back up. So it's the opposite of what we were just doing. So highly recommend either working on slow, fast, slow, or fast, slow, fast to like improve a rudiment, etc. And by the way, the members' first ones, they're all scheduled to release. So there's like 460 or something that are currently scheduled to release. So it might take like over a year until it comes out because I release a new one daily. Or you could sign up for 99 cents, which is the cheapest amount possible that I could do on YouTube. If I could make it a penny, I would do that, but I can't. So, sorry. Just wait, though. They'll all come out for free. I promise. Now I'm going to stretch and massage, and then I'm going to work on grid variations. So the grid variations, if you click, you can find the chutichuh stuff here in a bit. But first, we're going to stretch and massage. So the first stretch that I'm going to do stretches the sides of the forearms. And there's a video under the drumming lessons playlist that's called This Hand Routine Saved My Drumming. And it shows you how to do these stretches with better camera angles than I'm currently doing. But this stretches the side of the forearm. Oh, it feels great. I did Muay Thai yesterday, and my hands took a lot of impact, so it's kind of actually stretching out the wrist a little bit. Anyways, if you do traditional grip, rotate and hold here. Rotate and hold there for like 20, 30 seconds, but I don't march that anymore, so I'm not going to do that. Now I'm going to stretch the underside of the forearms. You could do it like this. You could do 2 fingers at a time, 2 fingers at a time. That gives you a deeper stretch. You could do it on your pad like this. Or you could do it on the wall. The lower you go, the deeper the stretch. Don't put all your weight into it. You'll tear stuff. That's bad. Oh, yeah. Feels good. Now we're going to stretch. Whoa. You almost tripped on my cymbal stand. Now we're going to stretch the top side of my forearm. So you could do it like this. You could do 2 fingers, 2 fingers. Gives you a little deeper. You could do this one on your legs or on your pad or on a large mammal. You could also do this on the wall. The higher you go, the deeper the stretch. Again, don't put all your weight into it. Just do it. And now I'm going to stretch thumb to thumb. Just goes twice as fast. After this is the last stretch. I'll do a quick massage routine, and then we're going to work on the chutichuh grid, which is tricky, to say the least. So stay tuned for that. It is definitely for intermediate, at least, if not advanced drummers. But if you go slow, then intermediates can definitely work on them. Woo! ASMR, enjoy. And the final stretch. Do we get a pop? Oh, no. 1 out of 5 stars. Not enough ASMR in the drum stream. Now I'm going to massage the thumb on top and the fingers underneath. Just working my way up and down the forearm. Trying to relax everything. Now, depending on what kind of drumming you do, you're going to use different types of muscles. So, if you do traditional grip, you're going to be using forearm rotation. And so your biceps actually moving up and down while you're doing that. So if you notice it, if I rotate, you see like that bicep movement up and down. Okay, so that you might need a massage. But because I don't do traditional anymore, for me, it's mainly this. So all I'm doing is just moving up and down. I'm not flexing or anything. But that's the muscle that we're using. So I'm trying to relax along here. And so, again, not squeezing. Just literally moving the wrist up and down. And it's the same thing for here, but you can't really see it because of the tattoo. But that's where I'm massaging on, around, etc. You want to relax everything in your forearms. So that way you can play nice and loose. My right forearm is tighter than my left. Interesting. Too many punches yesterday with it on the bag. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to massage the palm with the thumb and then the backside of the hand with the fingers, like that. So we're loosening everything up. Working our way around the palm. I hope you're following along with me. Promise this works. I've been drumming since 1998. And I can still play because I take care of my hands. And these are the extra heavy Rudiment hammer sticks. So these are very much so chopsticks. There. Hashi. Last one, massage base to tip. The reason why I'm still able to play with these extra heavy sticks at my age is because I take care of my hands. So if you want to drum when you are ancient like I am at 39 years of age, then you, hey, thank you for signing up for membership. I appreciate you. Then you need to take care of your hands. The membership is 100% optional. The cheapest rate that I can make on YouTube is 99 cents. Thank you for signing up. But it gives you access to almost 500 videos. I've got more in the making. Stay tuned. But you don't have to sign up for it. It's 100% optional. All of the videos are coming out for free. It just might take literally over a year because I release a new one daily. So this one, I'm doing base to tip of each one of the fingers at least 2-3 times. And, ooh, the base of my thumb is tight. Okay. Good to know. Now, Hershey's, I mentioned that if you want to work on your cheeses, there's a technique exercise that can help with that. So if you go into the technique section on my home tab of YouTube, if you scroll down to the Rudiment Builders playlist, this one, there's a bunch of different exercises that help you work up a rudiment. For example, like your paradiddle, or a paradiddle-diddle, or flam accents, or cheeses. So this exercise, if we go to it, once it loads, need some motivation. Do it! Come on, you can do it. Shia LaBeouf did not help out. Let's try refreshing. Let's try going somewhere else. Let's try clucking like a chicken. So back when I used to teach computer science, sometimes there'd be a bug that students would have when they were like coding something. And they'd be like, well, what do I do to fix it? I was like, well, face north and cluck like a chicken. And they're like, which way is north? I'm like, it was a joke, but if you want to try it, I will laugh. So will your peers. Thank you for the sub. Okay, let's try a different one. My internet's being slow. Okay, well, there's Flam Action Builder. Let's try the Cheese Builder again. You can do it. Just believe in yourself. Never back down, never what? Never load the Cheese Builder. Okay, fine. Are we going to go to the Flam 5 Builder? Okay, so Hershey's, pretend this is the Cheese Builder. Apparently, my internet is slow just on that one video. But anyways, if you go into the builder variations, the very first variation for... No. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. It's one of those days. Okay, well, I'll just show you on here. Oh, wait. Nobody move. Nobody move. It's working. Okay, so what it starts off with is the very first line is just what your right hand does, in this case with a Flam 5, but just imagine this is a cheese. So when you're playing a Flam accent, you're playing... Okay, cool. This is what your hand is playing when you play a Flam 5, okay? The right hand only. And what it does is every single line it adds in one note at a time. So in this instance, it adds in the first grace note on the left hand. And then it adds in a diddle on the left hand. It's an accent. And then it adds in another diddle right here on the left hand. And then, if it'll actually load to page 2. Come on, you can do it. Come on, you can do it. Come on, you can do it. Come on, internet. Gotta teach those hamsters to run faster. Well, anyways, on page 2, so what it does is it puts both hands together, so with whatever rudiment you're doing, and then it slowly subtracts one right hand at a time in order to be able to play just the left hand at the very end. So it's like the opposite of this. So it gets rid of a right, 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 and then you're just playing this line with the left hand. But apparently, my internet is being slow right now, so my apologies. Okay, so I'm going to actually go back here, and I'm going to work on a grid variation, hopefully. But again, this is in the Rudiment Builders playlist. There's a ton of things that can help you work on your rudiments inside of that playlist, and you can find this. Scroll down on my home tab under the technique section. Just click, and then it shows you all those playlists right there. Okay, so I'm doing grid variations, and because there's over 1,000 grid variations, you definitely have to click to expand to see all the different playlists in here. But if you scroll down, there's chutichuhs and chutichuh. Grid is one of the... Whoa! We only need one, Jared, not two. There's chutichuhs variation on one, and there's also chutichuh on one. So I'm going to do this one. And for every one of these play-alongs, all 2,000 plus of them, when you go into here, there's timestamps, so you can jump to whatever BPM you want, from as slow as 40 all the way up to 200. If you can play chutichuh grid at 200, send me a recording. Tag me. I want to see it. But because I'm going to refine my technique, I'm going to just let it start at 40. Fingers crossed. Everything's good. Wish me luck. So you can join, play along if you'd like to. But grid permutates the accent, so it puts it on 1, and then on the second partial, and then on the third partial, and you do that 4 times, 2 times, 1 time. So this is on 1, 2, on 3, which makes it a chutichuhs. Now 1 count of each. Oops. Oh no. And then it goes up 1 click at a time. I recommend just following the play along after you select your BPM, ideally slow, and just let it go 1 click. Don't skip around. You're refining stuff. Hello! How your flams going? Two counts. And it repeats here. And 1 count of each partial. Repeats off of the left. Repeats off the right. Repeats off the left. Oops. I screwed up the sticking. Talking really messes me up. My apologies. Unsub. I understand. Here we go. 42. The meaning of life. That's the answer. Oops. I tried to read while playing through it. Screwed me up. Let's see. You've been going up 1 click at a time? Nice. I highly recommend going slow. Another fun variation, since you're working on flams on accents, is you can do a rudiment after an accent or before an accent. And there's variations for that in that flam play along, as well as like for cheeses, for flam drags, whatever you want. So like a cheese after an accent. Or before. All that kind of stuff. It's so much fun to play. But that's some more like complicated stuff you don't have to necessarily worry about. But good to hear that you're doing the flam on accents. Thousands more in my home tab. Literally. Here we go, 43. Trying to stay relaxed on the accents while pulling back. It'll help when I speed it up to not be too heavy. From Indonesia, well, hello, welcome. Thanks for joining in on YouTube. We got YouTube horizontal and vertical, whatever you prefer. I unlist the vertical one when I'm done with it, so you only have access to the horizontal, but you can join on whatever one you want, ad-free. You didn't see that. So that mistake was a mental mistake. I was just like thinking about something else, and you know, that happened. That happens a lot, bruh. Yeah. Focus. It will improve your playing. Don't think about if you're hungry, if you are gonna do homework after this, whatever. Just focus on the playing. You'll sound way better. By the way, I'm working on chutichuhs because yesterday when I chopped out, that's where I was slowing down. So we're refining something I'm not good at yet. Or at least not where I want it to be. When I was playing the 5-4 shopping spree, I slowed down on that last line. I have no idea what that is. For the emoji. Looks like an owl. So again, if you're playing through this stuff and you're playing slow with a relaxed technique that you'll use when you're playing fast, then as you speed it up, it'll feel better. But if you play it like, and you're like really squeezing everything and too tight on it, then as soon as you start to speed it up, you're just going to just be like, ah, and it's not going to sound good. Is that a marching band stick? Yeah, so these are called Rudiment hammers. They're extra heavy chopsticks, so they are just like normal Rudiments, except they weigh heavier. So they have more weight to them. And you can actually find the second link in each of my playlongs if you click the one that says percussion books and gear I recommend and go here. Then this is where you can see a lot of different books and stuff that I recommend and use and have demonstrated on the stream. But the pad I'm using is here. The pad underneath that is here. The pad underneath that is here. And then the sticks I'm using are these. So they're the Ralph Rudiment hammer sticks. And they're great for working on chops. So that's what I use them for. boop. Let's continue. 47. Agent 47. That game is based off of my life story. Accents are still a little heavier than I want. Just pull back, stay light. As you speed it up, the volume will come. Did I make my website or someone else? I made my website. I use Squarespace. I made it initially in 2003 when I first started teaching privately, and was like, how do I share my music with my students in an easy way? And so I made my website, not on Squarespace, they weren't around at that time. And then I've slowly, over the decades, just put all my presentations, publications, etc., all for free on my website. So there's a lot of content on there, like the 2000 play-alongs and whatnot. TJ, hello, welcome. Yeah, but not that it requires a lot of like computer science and coding and whatnot, but I taught music education, band, percussion, but I also taught coding, computer science. So all the back-end website stuff is pretty easy for me. Hello! All the hellos on YouTube. My accents are still too heavy. I gotta stay relaxed. Now, Luna. Yeah, Luna. So, one of the reasons also why, it's helpful that I'm the one doing the website. Hello, Wimby. Is because I make less than $1 a day on all this drumming stuff. So, I don't have the money to, pay somebody else to do it, so I do it. Just like all the thousands of videos that are on my website or on my YouTube channel I made. One day, we'll make a couple dollars a day on all these drumming videos. Maybe when I make 10,000 videos, I'll make like $10 a day. It'll be great. I'll be like, woo! Thank you for the sub on YouTube. I appreciate you. So sad I'm not more popular. I mean, hey, we reached 10,000 today. Woot. If at the current rate, since I've made 8,000 videos, I could get to 1 million if I make 800,000 videos. So that's positive. Challenge accepted. What's cool is people are starting to share these thousands of resources with others, which helps more drummers find the content, which helps me out, which is great. Jeffrey, welcome back. Good morning, good morning. You're welcome. If you send a video, can I get feedback? Yeah, so if you tag me on YouTube, like I think if you use the @ or the plus, I forget. It might be plus. I think YouTube's a little different. Then it should show up in my mentions. You can like hide your face so you can be anonymous. And then I can give feedback live on a stream. So that way more people can get some benefit from it. And I'll show you a video of an example of what that would look like. Right now. So, if we go to my home tab, if you scroll down past all the play-alongs and whatnot, all the way into the tips and lessons section, if you go into here and click to see the entire playlist, there's a video that's all the way down here. It's number 49, I think. Yeah, so how to improve flamus. So this one. Somebody asked for feedback, so I provided 14 minutes and 40 seconds of feedback for them, and you can see the timestamps in here. I'm talking about the left-hand technique and giving some examples of some things that you can work on for traditional grip, and then I talk about the right-hand technique, some things that they could do for that, how to improve flam taps, how to improve flam drags, etc. So that is an option that I can do in a future stream, possibly. So depends on what kind of stuff is submitted, but I can help out that way, and have done so in the past. Good question, though. You're very welcome. But feel free to leave questions in the comments. I do respond. Or live. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through 5 more reps, and then I'm going to start going up by 10s, and use that to just kind of like figure out what's happening when I'm playing fast that I could continue to refine by slowing this back down again. So we'll do 5 more reps, 1 click at a time, and then we'll do that. Which, Luna, by the way, in the video, just like put that you give permission for me to share it on the stream. And again, you don't have to show your face or anything. Just like show your hands so we can see your technique and your sticks. Oops, I started playing the last line. Where's my brain? Not on this exercise. Project for French class. Nice, sweet. I'm very slowly learning Japanese. I wish they had that at my high school. Would be cool. Man, there's just so many like notes that you're playing on this. It's great. I like this grid variation. That's hard though, especially the second measure. Like these are just chutichuhs. Bro, what? Nothing? Okay. Good chat. Alright, so we're going to play this at 59. And then when we get to 60, we'll start jumping it by 10s until we get to the point where I completely chop out. And that'll give me data for what to continue to refine. Again, I'm trying to stay relaxed on these accents. Just pull back, let it happen. And you'll notice that the majority of the last like 50 minutes while streaming has been slow practice. Why? Because it helps you refine your technique. I've been drumming since 1998, but I still slow this down to 40 to refine things. You'll never get too good where you don't need to do this. Oops. All right, now we'll go by 10s. So in the timestamps, you can jump to whatever BPM you want. If the timestamp ends with the BPM with a 0 or a 5, it'll give you a few seconds to get yourself set up. So it'll pull up this little scene right here, this screen. It'll say something profound, and then it'll count you off. Do I listen to bands like Alice in Chains or Pantera? Actually, I don't really listen to a lot of music, which is kind of funny. I listen to a lot of drum and bass when I'm like writing the scripts for like the drumming lessons or like even the computer science stuff. And it just, for whatever reason, makes me focus. It's a habit that I got myself into back when I used to write curricular content for this computer science nonprofit. And I listened to drum and bass a lot on that. But Yeah, my wife has got me into Sleep Token lately. The drummer too is a very musical, like not overplaying, but has kind of like a jazz influence with metal. It's really kind of hard to explain. But do I play any other instruments? Yeah. So my during my undergrad, it's so I have a bachelor's, master's, PhD in music education. For the bachelor's in music education, I had to learn every single band and orchestra instrument at about the middle school level. So like I learned how to play everything, and I used to teach band. Like I taught kids how to play flute and trumpet and saxophone, etc. But I got a full ride in percussion performance because I played other stuff like marimba, so like four mallets and like timpani, concert snare, bass drum, all that fun stuff. So like I know all the main like Western percussion instruments. Have a lot of experience on that. Way more experience on those than I do like on drum kit, which I have the least amount of experience on. Which I'll work on tomorrow if anyone wants to stop by for that. But yeah, play a lot of instruments. They all inform like how I practice this one. So like when I'm playing, like the technique that I use, I like to stay nice and relaxed, has a little bit of a rotary motion, which I learned from rotary French technique on timpani. And so like learning different instruments teaches you different things that you can use across the different instruments. So for example, playing mallets, there's a mallet technique called the Julie Spencer technique, where you actually flip your wrist over and you play with the back end like this. So you hit there. Why, thank you, Tim. I appreciate you. But you hit like this and then you hit like that. And so you can use that on drum kit to make it so that you have less arm motion and just be able to move like this. So I demonstrated that like 2 drum kit streams ago, I think. Whereas normally what you do for tenors is move your elbow pivot as opposed to like this, but learning all the different techniques for all the different instruments like really helps you to be able to expand how you can play the instruments in different ways, etc. But harmonica, no, I actually have not worked on harmonica, and I also haven't done guitar or bass, which I know. We've actually got several of them. My wife plays them. She's also a percussionist, but she plays a lot of bass lately. So I could learn them, but I haven't. Too many things to learn. Let's try it at 80. But yeah, my primary instrument is snare drum, so that's what I marched. So I did 2 seasons on snare in high school, a few seasons in drum corps, and then 2 seasons in college as well. So that's like the main thing that I played with traditional grip, but I don't like traditional grip for a variety of reasons. So I now just play match grip, etc. Ew. Whoa, brain. Whoa. Whoa. Let's try this again. We'll try it at 90. I was too busy thinking. Sitar or banjo? No. I did know, I dated somebody whose dad knew that, but I didn't ever learn that. 90. Okay, so now we're at 100. Wife, yes. Faster than anyone's ever played before. It's impressive. 100.
It's the fastest I've ever heard anyone playing anything.
I know.
It's amazing.
We're setting records today. You love to march snare, but your wrist is bad? Oh, interesting. Yeah, well, I'm sorry to hear you broke it. There's a video... Okay, so we're going to play it at 110. If you go here on the home tab and you scroll down to the drumming lessons playlist, there's a video that shows how to do traditional grip. All the stuff that I recommend. In less than 3 minutes, it gives you more content than I've seen in videos that are like 20-minute tutorials on traditional grip. And it's not an exaggeration, so I highly recommend checking that out if you want to see my tips, what I recommend for traditional. Learning drum set and tenors, it's very weird. Yeah, I like it though. Like as a snare drummer who's like working on tenors and who has taught it, it's fun. I actually wanted to march tenors, but I didn't make it, so then I marched snare. And fell in love with the instrument because it's like perfectionist oriented. Nope. 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 Again. I don't know what happened with my left there. Too many flams. We're gonna have to return some of them back to the store. 120. Again, trying to find the breaking point to see what happens with my hands as I speed this up, so it can give me data for things to work on when I slow this back down again. Yeah, something on the upbeat, so... Something about the left hand is screwing things up. Good to know. For me, the chutichuhs grid is harder than the chutichuh grid is harder than the chutichuhs grid. I don't know why, but when you play... that variation, it just feels better. Let's try it again. Focus. Yeah, something is really off with my left. Like, it's actually changing, like, the angle of it and creating, like, a slight slicing motion and even changing the angle within my hand. So, I don't know why, though. That's weird. She's doing it a little bit. It's, like, trying to, like, slide a little different from where it should be in my hand. And it's on the second measure, not on the first one. Or the third one. But I'm still trying to refine my left to be able to match my right. Because I spent several years playing with traditional grip, and now I'm playing match grip, they're inconsistent. So, I know. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I'm not good enough yet. Okay. I made improvement, but clearly there's some stuff to work on with the second measure. This one right there. So, we'll continue to work on that. Maybe I could do it with the slow, fast, slow, and like put this on the accent. So chutichuh, and just repeat that. Thinking out loud. Anyways, so this grid variation, this is one of over 1,000 grid variations. If you just go to my home tab on the 2BU, and then you scroll, you got over 60 chop exercises in this section. We got gaming stuff because I'm a nerd. We're about to play Uncharted 2 here in probably about 20 minutes, so stay tuned. We've got over 1,000 grid variations. You actually have to click on the header to expand to show all of them, because YouTube only shows 12 playlists, so it stops at flam drags. but there's a lot more in there. So just scroll down, and then you got all those. Some wacky stuff, too, like Grid. All the limb independent stuff, we'll work on that tomorrow. We've got a ton of marching bass stuff, 460-plus exercises that help out with that. Some drumline cadences, computer science stuff if you want to nerd out with me. A bunch of technique exercises, over 360 of them. Over 13 hours of drumming tips, some drumming lessons like that traditional grip one. All of the prior live streams, if you want to see what I was working on, I'll add some timestamps to this one here in a few minutes. So that way you can see what I was talking about or what I was working on. But if you click on the header for the technique one, there's so much content in here. It'll keep you busy for a long time. If you played 8 hours a day using just these play-alongs, it'd take you over a year to get through everything that I've created. Did I wear earplugs in drum corps? Yes, I 100% wore it every single time. I have sensitive hearing. I can actually hear bats, which is annoying because they're very high-pitched. But I wore earplugs all the time. And when I taught drumline, I wore earplugs all the time. And I recommended my students do it as well. And the ones who did not regretted it because they've lost some hearing. And as they've gotten older, because I've been teaching since 2003, but when they get into their late 20s and 30s and whatnot, they have regretted not using ear protection. So I highly recommend it all the time whenever you're practicing, even drum kit and whatnot. I use the headphones to help out with that. Now, if you don't want to see it organized on YouTube, if you want to see it organized neater than what I can do here, on my website, which is linked at the very top of every one of these play-alongs, it has all of the drum exercises and whatnot organized much neater than what I can do on YouTube. So here's all the chop stuff. Here's all the grid variations. Here's the limb independence stuff. Here's a video that teaches you how to develop limb independence, which I'll work on tomorrow. All the bass stuff, the scores, the technique exercises, and then all of the lessons and whatnot. Even some bonus stuff like the percussion dictionary. So if you play concert percussion and you're not sure, what does it mean and how's that different than a tambourine? Well, this will help you out with that. And then if you click here, the books and gear I recommend, it shows you a bunch of different percussion stuff that I have used over the years and highly recommend, like the sticks that I'm using, etc. And if you go actually all the way up, scroll past this stuff, you can see here's the headphones that I am using tomorrow. They're isolation headphones, so they're great for being able to practice on the drum kit. And there's actually a Bluetooth version as well if you don't want to have the 3.5 millimeter jack, etc. So, anyways, after your first year in marching band, you knew that you had to wear earplugs. Yeah, it's one of those things that I know a lot of people regret it when they don't do it. So I highly recommend it. It's super helpful, but I'm going to tear this down, and I'm going to get ready for some gaming. So you'll notice on my home tab that there's a bunch of gaming stuff. I've got a ton of gaming highlights and then a bunch of games that I've streamed. But if you're on YouTube, on the home tab, if you want to see any of that, you just have to click on the header, and then it shows you all the gaming stuff. But we are playing through the Uncharted entire series, and we just beat the first game yesterday. So today we're starting the second game. So if you're interested in any of those games, you can check them out. If you're not interested in gaming at all, you can just check out the drumming stuff. Oh, by the way, if it says members first, that means it's scheduled to release. There's almost 500 of those, so over a year's worth of content. So if I die right now, you'll still get a few hundred more videos from me. You can sign up for membership. It's 99 cents. It's the cheapest possible I can make it on YouTube. If you want to, but you don't have to sign up for it. I promise they're all coming out for free. I don't sell an app. I don't teach privately anymore. I don't sell, drumsticks. I don't sell a course. None of that. So all of this stuff will come out for free. So stay tuned for all of those videos. No earplugs is pretty bad. Yeah. No, it genuinely can ruin the rest of your life if you spend multiple seasons or even one season marching on drumline without earplugs. You gotta do it. I highly recommend it. Seen way too many musicians and former musicians who just actually can't even hold conversations without being wait, what? Could you speak up? And it's because they didn't use earplugs. So highly recommend it. Even when I taught band, I had earplugs because the room, even though it was high ceilings and whatnot, when there's 40 elementary kids all that can make you go deaf. But anyways, I'm going to call it here. I do appreciate everybody stopping by on these streams. I hope you enjoy this free content that I create. Stay tuned for a lot more, but I'm out. So goodbye.